Well, the other day, the dog and I were walking along this lane, which is quite near the house, and I noticed all around here were lots of molehills, and this soil is really, really good. In fact, Edwardian gardeners would have gone absolutely wild had they seen it and collected it up. So I've come equipped with a wheelbarrow spade, and I'm going to gather some up pretty quickly, get it back to the garden, and I'll show you what I use it for. Okay, so I've got the molehill, it's now soil, back into my shed here, and I'm just going to go through a couple of things that you can do with it. It's really useful stuff, so next time you have a little mole, please don't trap it and kill it. Humanely would be really nice. The thing about the soil is it's come from underground, and it is like premium quality topsoil that you'd buy in a garden centre and spend a fortune on. So once you've got it home, I keep touching it, sorry, once you've got it home, you can mix it with your own compost that you make at home. I don't know what you're doing that, you can't see it. Your own compost which you make at home. That mixed 50-50 with the molehill soil will make the most beautiful potting compost for things like auriculas and little seedlings that you've potted on. And in fact, that's what I'm going to do here. I rooted this little salvia cutting when I was looking after Gregory's chickens. I cut a flower and it rooted, so it was really good. So I'm going to use the soil now actually to just pop that on. It's Hadspin, which is one that I've been looking for. I mean, look how easily that rooted, just in some water, no need to worry. In fact, it was by accident, so even better. So firm that up. So I mean, that is the most beautiful potting soil you could wish for. Whilst I'm here, I would take those flowers off, but it's so prolific, it just keeps doing it. So no, that's one use. Now the other use, if you mix the molehill soil with your own compost and a little bit of potash, so if you have a wood burner, a little bit of potash added to that, it makes a really good seed medium. So I'm going to mix them all together, and that's going to be my next little job with it. Okay, so I've got all my ingredients to make my seed sowing compost, because there are so many hardy annuals and perennials that you can sow now and overwinter in a cold room, a cold frame, or an unheated greenhouse. And if you think about it, it's an ideal time, because this is now when plants are dropping their seeds naturally. So I always think it's better to sow fresh, as in the seed direct from the plant, rather than necessarily waiting until spring and buying seeds which have been stored and dried over winter. So you'll remember, the molehill soil. In this rather unattractive container is some wood ash from the fire, so I add that. I mean, this is like a cake. And some of my own compost that's about a year old. Add that all together. Give that a nice mix. Potash is really good for roots, so for seeds it's really important because it gets them off to a really good start. Compost gives a little bit of feed. See, it's gone a little bit grey, a bit like me, greying, though I try not to admit it, and that is really lovely. It's like a kind of soil velvet, really. So again, like last time, I fill up my seed tray, use my tamper to firm it down, and I forgot last time I was out sowing seeds that I've actually got here, you can't really see them, here, a whole load of Honesty Lunaria. I'm hoping this is the blue Corfu type, but most likely not. So I'm just going to broadcast those across the surface of that soil. I'll number this seed tray like I did last time. Remember I was saying that often you put in your little label and it goes missing, or the cat pulls it out, or some disaster happens. Come spring, we don't know what we've sown. I tend to just write on the side with a pen 1 to whatever, how many I'm sowing and the date, and then I keep a list of that, which I keep in my drawer so I know where it is, and I never lose it. And then in spring I know what I've germinated, and once I've used the seed tray, because I only use wooden seed trays, I will sand it off, and I can go again without any confusion. So that's those sown. As I said last time, with seed sowing, what I tend to do is now stand that in a bath of water to let the water come up into the soil, rather than wash it across the surface and wash my seeds away, particularly if they're small. So that's 2 uses. And if you've got raised vegetable beds or beds that just need a little bit of extra love, bit of TLC. If you happen to come across any molehill soil on your journeys or in other people's gardens and they don't want it, that's the key thing, they don't want it, then I would use it for that as well. So it's really useful stuff. And if you had to go and buy topsoil the same quality, it would be expensive.